Hello there, my name is Linda and this is my channel Linda T70. Thank you so much for stopping by today. You're very welcome, and it's very good to have your company. If you're a returner, thank you so much for keep coming back. I know I've got a number of people that comment regularly on my videos and are always really supportive, so thank you to them. And also anybody new that's commented and also subscribed, and if anybody would like to subscribe or like my videos, that would be amazing, so thank you very much. I thought today I'd do a little video on just a few things that I've liked in the past sort of 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a bit longer, including some TV programmes. So I thought I'd share sort of my thoughts on that with you. Excuse me. And also I bought a couple of bits for, I'm not going to go on forever about this living room that we've decorated. This hopefully will be the last time you have to hear anything about it, but just there's 2 particular pieces I would just like to show you. And oh sorry, got a frog in my throat. And then that'll be it. Well, since I've finished doing this room, well, it's more or less finished now. There's a few bits and pieces. I've still got to paint some furniture, and just a couple of other things, but not very much. I've painted in my bedroom because that just needed doing. I've almost finished with that. The next thing I think I'm going to work on is the hallway, because it's driving me nuts. We've got a really small hallway. I suppose a lot of modern houses are the same, unless you live in a modern mansion, of course. You come in and then there's it's just tiny, and you've got the stairs in front, and you might have a couple of doors off or whatever, but there's just, and in the winter when everyone hangs all their coats up and you're battling past those, so it's driving me mad. And it's always been a bit of a, I've tried all sorts of things with it, and I've never managed to improve it, so I'm trying to use my imagination and give it another try. So that'll be the next thing I do, but don't worry, it won't be as painful as you following me through my living room, my panelling and my art deco stuff. So yeah, it's just keeping me busy really. Right, so the first thing to say is a particular mention to one of my regular viewers, Jeanette, who contacted me in the comments to mention a vase that she'd bought, and she had also seen on one of Becky Bartlam's videos, and she thought it might look nice in my room. So Jeanette, I went out and, well, I didn't go out and buy it, I ordered it online. It's this black and gold, I think it's described as a gold drip. It's in the right house then, isn't it? And I think this was £18, and I think perhaps I'm not sure if it's a bit too bright to show you it, but it's really pretty, it's really nice. I'm thrilled with it, and it came really well packaged, because I had visions of it coming in about 20 pieces, but so well packaged, I really struggled to open the blooming parcel. So I did buy that. Thank you, Jeanette, for the mention. It's ever so useful. I appreciate any help and advice you can give me. But I did also, I told current husband, I've ordered the vase and I've ordered a panther, and he didn't really say anything to me about it, but I'd seen on the Next website when I was looking for the vase, and this is something I've never ever bought anything like this before in my life, but I thought he was a bit, well actually it's a she. I think she's called Petra the Panther. I don't know why they give everything names on these websites, but anyway. So I've never bought anything animal like, well, as I've tried to explain before, I'm not very good with ornaments. But I saw her and I thought, I think that looks a little bit on the Art Deco theme, and it was described as the gold drip again, as you can possibly see. So I got her. Now, I can't remember how much she was. I think she was about £34 or something, so quite expensive. So obviously this stuff's going in the cupboard when we have any grandchildren or anybody else that's a bit raucous visit. So there's the two things. which they're not an exact match, but I think they complement each other quite well. So I'd be interested to see what you think. But the funny thing about with current husband, when I put it on the shelf last night, and when he came in, I said, "Oh, the Panther's arrived," and he looked at it. He said, "Oh," he said, "I thought you meant you were going to get one of those things that sort of sits on the floor. You know, those great big. They're the size of a Labrador." I thought no. Perhaps I should get one just to make him quiver. I don't know, but anyway. So thank you again, Jeanette, for that. And yes, Becky Bartlam on her YouTube channel, she did have a little view of all the stuff that they've got in store in Next. So it's obviously worth having a look. So thank you for that. So the couple of things I want to mention before I go on to the TV things I've watched are things I've enjoyed, or I've, I suppose enjoyed. So the first thing to mention is when I went to Dunelm and bought all this stuff that I showed you a few weeks ago, on the impulse bit, by the tills, I found this Dorma. I'm not sure if you can see that terribly well. I mean, how long do you sit here to let the thing focus? Basically, it's Dorma Purity Calm Days, and it's a luxury pillow spray. And I wouldn't say I sleep badly, but I think I'm like a lot of people, especially women my age. I mean, you don't have to be menopause, or it's past that as well. I mean, we tend to exist on less sleep anyway, because we just do. Most of us seem to. I don't know if there's a reason for it. But I tend to wake up anyway several times during the night. It doesn't help having dogs sleeping on your bed with you, because they have to kind of just tuck in with you. We've got quite a big bed, but one sleeps up by your head and the other one sort of sleeps in the back where your legs bend or whatever, and it's really quite uncomfortable. So I suppose that doesn't help. But it's good if I just fall back to sleep again. Some nights you don't, and you wake up and your brain starts going, doesn't it? But anyway, I thought, oh well, I'll give this a try, because I've tried that. What's that company? What's it called? It's something like We Guarantee Everything Works Properly. This won't fail you or something. It's called, I don't know, maybe it's called just This Works. I don't know. They sell a range of stuff that they're advertising quite a lot lately, I've noticed. And I've had a pillow spray from them before, and that was quite good actually. I mean, I don't know if it's all in the mind, but anyway, I bought this Dorma spray. It was £5. Which I didn't know whether that's expensive or not. And of course it's lavender, so we know that lavender helps us to drift off to sleep. And I've used it, and it does smell nice. I don't really have any trouble getting to sleep, it's just staying asleep, but it's nice to put on my pillow. So you might want to give it a go. I'm holding this up in the vain hope you can see it, but anyway, Dorma Purity, and I got this from Dunelm, and it was £5. I'm started on my new perfume. My favourite I've got two perfumes I wear. I think I said this a few weeks ago when I did a video. I have like a daytime perfume, which is Boss Femme, which I really like. It's quite floral, and I just like it. I can't really describe the fragrance. It's just floral and nice. I really like it. So I got some of that for Christmas, so I'm using that as my daily perfume. And current husband got me that, and he got me another bottle of the Dior, which I like. I think this is called, it's just Dior, what's it called? J'adore, that's it. Fool. So yeah, I've started on that now. That's my sort of going out perfume. I did have this one, which was one that they brought out fairly recently, I think, which is more of a milk, and it does have a different fragrance to that. And this is just called Parfum d'Eau, as in water, you know, EAU, which was quite nice. I prefer the original one though, the J'adore, this one that's the not milk. And I've tried this actually. I've had this little tiny bottle of Miss Dior for ages. I think it must have come in some sort of, it's obviously some sort of sample that came with something, and I just like the little bottle. But I started using it recently, and that's nice as well. So maybe when these have run out, or one of them's run out, maybe I'll try some Miss Dior. It does smell nice. The other thing I bought, which I'm quite pleased about, this was a Caroline Mrs. M video that I watched a few weeks ago, and I've been thinking for ages that, because you know when you try and tell your children stories about, you know, when you were little or when they were little, and they kind of, you know, they're well intentioned, but they kind of roll their eyes a bit, don't they? And you think, oh well, you know, when I'm dead you'll want to know all this stuff. And I've thought about writing down not my life story exactly, but I thought, well, because now I don't have my parents anymore, and I don't have my any siblings left, so I've got no one to ask things. And again, I've probably mentioned this on previous videos, but I think that's the thing with us all. You know, the older we get, the less we don't have our parents anymore, and there's just loads of questions. If you could only have these people back for a day and just have a list of questions ready to ask them, so they could tell you, because no one else, because all my, you know, nearly all my aunts and uncles aren't around anymore. So I thought I'd write my story down, just so that one day my kids won't have to think, oh, I wonder how this happened or that happened, or why she did this or when she did that. So, but Caroline Mrs. M was saying something on those lines, and she'd bought this book, The Book of Me. So I thought, right, I'm going to get that. This is exactly what I want, because it's a book that's kind of got prompts in it. So it's got a contents page with, there we go. So we've got an introduction, the facts of life, personal history, all, not that sort of facts of life, I don't think, all in the family, all about me, the inner me, and what's next. Now, I don't know if this is actually designed for people who are fairly near croaking it or anything, but it's, the only criticism I've got is I think it's a bit American. No offence to anyone that's in America, but they don't sort of speak, we do speak the same language, but we speak a different language at the same time, don't we? So it's, you can tell that it's written or compiled by somebody in America, I would say. But it's good that it's got, you know, there's like pages with all these things on this one. My life, a personal history, who taught you to drive, what kind of car did you have? Did you have access to the family car? This type of thing. So I don't know if you can see that or not. The sun's on it, so maybe not. But oh, did anyone in your school have a fatal accident, serious injury, or life-threatening disease? I think we might skip that one, mightn't we? But anyway, you get the idea, and I think it's a nice little thing to do. And so I thought I'll fill that in. I've started putting a few bits and pieces in. Just fill in as appropriate, and then put it with your stuff. And after you've gone, if anybody, well, I'm sure they would find it, wants to have a look and see, you know, a little bit more, might answer a few questions, mightn't it? So yes, I thought that was good. And as I say, that was Mrs. Caroline Mrs. M brought that to my attention. I think that's it on things that I've liked in the last couple of weeks. So the next thing I wanted to mention was just a few TV programmes that I've watched, and I thought you might be interested. I'm quite keen on murders, not actually committing them or anything, although I have been tempted from time to time. I like things about murders, but I don't like every type of, I don't watch anything just because it's a murder. You know, some things appeal to you more than others, don't they? And I do like things that are real, you know, based on a true story or documentaries and things. But these are just a few things I've seen in the last few weeks. The first thing to mention is a very current one, which is the latest in the series of True Detective, which has got a subtitle, Night something. Terrible, isn't it? Sorry, I can't remember. But it's the one with Jodie Foster in, and I really enjoyed that. I like anything with Jodie Foster in it, basically, and it's set in, I think it's Alaska. I don't think it was actually filmed there, but it's set in the days of the year when you don't have any daylight, and it's a team of scientists in a station in Alaska who are all found dead. I don't know really how much to tell you about the plot. I think some people seem to think it's a bit scary. I don't. I like things like that, and I thought it was really quite watchable, and I find her really watchable, and the rest of the cast were very good as well. It's got a couple of Brits in. Well, it's got Christopher Eccleston and Dervla Kirwan, who I know she's Irish, isn't she? But so it's kind of a mixed cast. But I think it's 6 episodes, and if you like that type of thing, it sort of make you jump, and it's a little bit edge of seat, but I wouldn't say it's terrifying or anything. But if that's your bag, give it a go. On Netflix, I watched Based on a True Story, which was they describe it as a comedy thriller. That was 8 episodes, and the two of us, me and current husband, don't really like anything much the same on the TV, but we did quite get into this. It stars Kaylee Cuoco and Chris Messina. She is the girl that's in The Big Bang Theory, that girl, and she was in that flight attendant thing. What was that called? Was it called Flight Attendant? Anyway, I find her quite watchable as well. And her and this Chris Messina, they're a married couple who do podcasts, and there's a serial killer on the loose in the area they live. Did I say it's on Netflix, this? Anyway, one day they're expecting a baby, their first baby, and I'm just reading some notes here, so I did write some stuff down. And they hire a plumber to install a new toilet. And the plumber and her husband get sort of quite chatty and end up going for a beer. And the plumber sort of flirts with somebody in the bar that evening, and the next day this girl turns up dead. So through a series of comings and goings, the couple decide that this guy is the serial killer, and the story carries on from there. As I say, it's a comedy thriller. You don't see anything, as far as I remember, that's terrible. But it's quite. The only disappointment with it was at the end of episode 8. It really seems to me like there's going to be another series of it, which that's always a disappointment to me, because you invest in something, and then it ends, and there's kind of a cliffhanger, and then you've got to wait for ages until the next series comes out. And with me, I've always forgotten what's happened at the end of the other, or well, in the whole of the other series. That tourist that was on with Jamie Dornan, we watched the first series of that, and then they brought a new series out, and I thought, I can't remember any of what happened in the first one, so I just couldn't even be bothered with the second series. But anyway, it was good. This based on a true story. It's kind of light-hearted murder. There we are. Another series I watched was called True Love, and I was quite surprised with this. It was on Channel 4. I mean, I don't know how relevant Channel 4 is to people that don't live in the UK. I don't know if with streaming whether you get it all over the world or not, but anyway. And this appealed to me to try, because it had an ageing cast in it, if you like. It was people that are all probably at least my sort of age and probably more. It starred Lindsay Duncan, Sue Johnston and Phil Davis. Well, they were the three main names that probably most of you would know. One good thing about this was, as far as I could tell, the ladies in this had not had any surgery on their face. They all looked like older women. They were all beautiful, of course, you know, well looking lovely. But sometimes when you watch things and you know somebody's quite old and they've had so much stuff done to their face, and it's a bit disconcerting and a bit sort of you kind of just can't stop looking at that, can you? But this was these people all looked how they would, or how they are at their age. And basically it's a group of friends that have been known each other since, I think it's since university, and they all turn up at one of their other friends' funeral, and they all have a few drinks, and they make a pact that if any of them, as the time comes for each of them to reach near the end of their lives, that the others will engineer a dignified death for them. And you might think, but I don't know about anybody else, but I thought it was really good, and it had a good ending. I thought the acting was wonderful. Lindsay Duncan's got the most mesmerising voice. So you might like to give that a try. That's Channel 4, that's True Love. There's another one that I watched quite a while ago actually, called Love and Death. This is an American programme. It was on ITVX. It stars Elizabeth Olsen and Jesse Plemons. It's described as nail-biting, shocking and raunchy. Now this is based on a true story. I think actually the one I mentioned at first, based on a true story, is based on a true story, I think. Anyway, who knew? So this one, Love and Death, it's the real story of a woman who well, I think she's still alive. Her name is Candy Montgomery, and it's set in 1980, and she was a member of a church, and she had a husband and a family, and I think she was kind of bored with her life and wanted to spice it up a bit, so she set her sights on having an affair with a fellow churchgoer played by Jesse Plemons, and who was married, also married, and again, you know, spoiler alerts and things. I don't really want to say too much more about the plot. Somebody ends up, it's not either of those two characters, but somebody ends up being murdered, and she gets charged with the murder. And I know it sounds like a million stories, but I like the fact that it was a true story. Now, the girl that plays the main character, Candy, Elizabeth Olsen's a beautiful young woman, and I did Google the people, the real people, and she doesn't really look a lot like her, but I suppose it's just how they go, don't they? They don't pick identical identical actresses to the person. They have to find someone that's got a name and looks nice on screen as well. But it's a very good story. I was really quite spellbound by it, and it does have a conclusion. And so I would, if you like that sort of thing, if you want to learn more about people murdering people, that's one to go for. So, and on the comedy note, not everyone's got the same sense of humour, have they? But if you haven't already seen on Netflix Schitt's Creek, I think it's hilarious. Really recommend that. That's about a family who used to be, one day they were extremely rich, and then the next day they lost all their money and they have to go and live in a motel that they bought. They bought this town in the middle of nowhere. The father bought it for his son for a joke, I think, but they end up having to go and live there and integrate with the community, and it's just really funny. So that's Schitt's Creek. Shit is the name of the is the name of the place. It's not the rude word, it's Schitts, but obviously the joke is, you know. And another one is, just as a last thing, is called Fisk. Now this is on Netflix. It's Australian and it stars Kitty Flanagan. I think she's a comedian, but I had never heard of her. And the description is, she's a no-nonsense lawyer who joins a low-rent wills and probate firm after her marriage and career implodes, and it's just funny. So I would, if you like, well, you won't know if you like it until you give it an episode, because we have, in our family, we have like a WhatsApp group, and if any of us find something we like, we tell the others. But of course, some of my family tell me stuff and I give it a go and I don't like it. So it's it's all very personal, isn't it, what you like and what you don't like. So that, just to sum up, that was based on a true story, true love. Oh no, I didn't tell you about that one because I didn't see any point. Love and Death, Schitt's Creek and Fisk. So there's a few little programs there you might like to give a go. Right, I think that's that for now. The next video I do, I want to do a haul, a try-on haul, a fashion haul. I haven't decided who to go to, where to get the clothes from. I'm very aware that I'm using the same people all the time, and I want to try and broaden my horizons. I don't want to go for Shein. For my own reasons, I don't really want to use them. But if you have got anybody that you think that you'd like to see me buy some stuff from them and show you, please tell me. That would be interesting to know. Yeah, so I will do that. I think probably the next video I do. I think that's everything for now. I hope you've been okay with this video. I know I just rabbit on about stuff usually, but I hope this was kind of okay. Just wanted to get another video up there. If you like to subscribe, if you haven't, please do. I still haven't quite got to my 500 and I'd really like to do that. I don't know why really. It doesn't make that much difference, but it's just a little sort of, you get a little thing once you start getting subscribers. It's really exciting watching the numbers go up, and I'm not by any means worried about having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds or anything, but I suppose I am really, aren't I? Because I'm asking you to subscribe. No, I'm not really, but it's just be nice to just get a few more people, because you just feel like it's your little tribe, don't you? So it's nice to have a group of us. Anyway, I'm just wittering now, so I will leave you now. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've sat and watched me all the way through. I've tried to sit a bit further back from my camera because somebody said that I should be showing from my waist up, but I don't really know how to do that without sitting 2 miles away, and I can't actually see what I'm doing then. So anyway, you take care. I hope you all stay well, and I'll see you again soon, and bye bye for now.